2, go.
Hi, I'm Flip Huffard. I'm a trustee of the Darien Land Trust and former president. I'm sitting here today at Brendan's Meadow with Bob Arrix.
Great, thanks everybody. I'm ex-Bob Arrix. I'm also a board trustee member and co-head of the stewardship committee on Darien Land Trust. And we're here really, as Flip mentioned, in Brendan's Meadow. It's a unique property located on our coastal tidal marsh here in Darien. And it's actually inclusive of a 6-acre span of land that has been protected. This land spans from behind me, starts in Brush Island, continues along near Water Lane, and ends up here in an acre-plus property here at Brendan's Meadow. So it's a variety of species, both land and sea, meeting together in a very valuable and unique property that we look at as basically called near water land, or near water spans.
The Darien Land Trust has owned Brendan's Meadow since 2007, when we were fortunate enough to have an anonymous donor allow us to purchase this piece of property and prevent a multifamily housing development from being built on it.
Also in Brendan's, we've made a concerted effort, and it's a continuous effort, to reintroduce indigenous native species. That starts both from Spartina grass in the salt marsh to more flowering species in the field and meadow that we're trying to regenerate. So knowing again the value of some of these native species to help wildlife, to help erosion, and to help actually manage this property.
Brendan's Meadow is one of the 5 properties that the Land Trust owns that border on Holly Pond. And Holly Pond is a nationally recognized important migratory bird sanctuary, and so to have these properties be preserved and available for wildlife use on the shores of Holly Pond has made a tremendous difference over the years.
And just as an example, as soon as we got here this morning, we saw hedgehogs, we saw deer, we saw rabbits and snowy egrets with really just in a quick 5-minute spans. We've also made an effort to put a seating area in near water, a bench that looks out over the tidal reserve. It's a beautiful place to look for the sunset, but it's also been adorned with some native indigenous mountain laurels as well. So that was a new addition to the property last year.
This parcel of land is one of the 3 parcels of land that the Darien Land Trust has preserved that originally had houses on them when we took over ownership. And under the Land Trust's oversight, we demolished the houses, filled in the foundations, and have begun programs of reverting the land back to its natural condition. We manage this property as a coastal meadow, and it has a variety of wildflowers that are great for bees and butterflies and other animals to use while they're migrating up and down the East Coast.
And just to complement that, we actually have also bought some younger plants from the Greenwich Land Trust that we're going to plant here hopefully the next couple weeks as they mature. So it's a variety of species. I think there's a total of 20 different species that will be excellent neighbors here with the already valuable plant life in the field. The property also, we're lucky enough, has a water source, and certainly is helping with our effort to rehabilitate the property with indigenous species.
This parcel does have challenges though, and this is common among many of the meadow properties that the Land Trust owns, which is the fight against invasive species. We have a number of invasive species both on the meadow part of the property as well as down in the coastal areas that we have been fighting against now for over a decade. And I will say that they are tough buggers. It's not easy to get rid of them and just to revert only to the natural condition of the land.
And also this property is very high on our list of valued locations in town for the Darien Land Trust. This near water expanse of 6 acres is very visible from the street. It's visible for colleagues and relatives in town going to Weed Beach. So it's actually viewed extensively by the community. So it's very important for us to maintain it, to maintain its quality, to maintain its uniqueness, again, as a coastal Connecticut property that's well worth preserving.
If you've had a chance to walk by Brendan's meadow, you may have noticed the beehive that is kept on the north side of the property, whereas one of the properties that we do have beehives on in Darien, I think at this point we have 16 hives that are out in the various meadow properties that we have. Part of our effort to help the bee population recover and to maintain natural pollination of the flowers and plants around us.
And also, just to carry on that theme, we do maintenance of the field at near water, twice a year mowing, certainly to create a more aesthetic environment for visitors in the area, but also to keep the invasives under control as well. So we can have a continued effort, even this coming weekend, to control the invasives here in the field, and again, continuing our planting of indigenous species.
We do have, right at the front of the property, a demonstration garden of natural plants. It's one of the two demonstration gardens that we have. The other is on what we call Waterbury Field on Hollow Tree Ridge Road. And we're using those as a way to plant native plants and keep them visible and available for people to look at and see how they work. This native garden here is definitely a work in process. It takes a lot of effort to plant the plants, to keep the weeds from overtaking them. But over the years, we hope that it will be a valuable resource for the community.
And also think of this property too as just another asset in our overall effort on this general peninsula. Starting from Brush Island all the way over to Juniper Road, collectively there are many properties with similar value and similar proximity to the salt water and tidal marsh. But certainly it's a very effective and collective effort by the Darien Land Trust to preserve some of this unique property, certainly to southwestern Connecticut.